The other day where I talked about something.
Why?
No, I think you should do something. Yeah, I don't have my name. That I would like.
So serving taps or something so called.
Call the regular city of Whitelands Council meeting to order for Monday, March 10th, 2025. Roll call please.
Grams, here, Darla,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Ekman, here, Mattson.
Here.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, moving along to the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to read through that? Questions or things to talk through? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to accept the consent agenda as is. So we have a motion from Councilor Jarla. Is there anybody that'd like to second or support that?
I'll second.
We have a second from Councilor Grams. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to the guests and citizens forum. Is there anybody that'd like to stand up and chat a little bit?
Yeah, I will. Jim McGully, 502 Hampshire Drive. And just some questions, even though I've been here for a little while, getting to know how things work and who everybody is. One of the questions I had is there anybody affiliated with the city that's in charge of marketing White Lakes? Is there like a development team that actively tries to get White Lakes out there so people can, we should check that place out. We might want to come over. I'm not sure how the industrial park businesses came in, but they've been good.
From my understanding, these strange powers, the board does a fair amount of marketing type stuff. Right?
Yeah, they work with the IRRB and the Iron Range Tourism Bureau. So they do connect with them to do different ads or promote. We have a marketing committee on the East Range Joint Powers Board, and they work with each of the 4 communities of Aurora, White Lakes, Biwabic, and Tombervine.
How about White Lakes?
Included
us.
White Lake.
Not included, but just us. Is there anybody that?
We deal with the Iron Range Tourism Board on our own too, but yeah, we partner with the other communities and they do promote White Lakes individually as well. When we have activities, they do promote those on their own.
Okay. Because what I'm doing is trying to assemble a list of people that I'd like to meet and talk with and see what ideas they have. One of the things I was wondering, White Lakes being the all-season city, you know, that's nice, it's kind of warm and fuzzy. Have we thought about making something that catches people's attention, maybe gateway to the Superior National Forest or something along those lines? Is that something that the council might discuss and talk about? Is that something that have to go to like a vote for the people of White Lakes, citizens of White Lakes?
I guess I'm not very sure it's something that's been brought up before, but I would venture to guess that would be something that we could, I guess, talk about as a community. And
okay, the reason I ask is when I saw that we were 3A, which is like the tourism district for the state legislature, where our heritage is mining. Maybe we need something that focuses more on a tourist instead of something that most any of the communities on the range could lay a claim to. So that will just toss up. Hopefully you'll say, hey, I'll talk with you sometime, have a coffee and see some of the different ideas.
You say, Jim, change the motto from an all-season city to gateway.
That's an idea, you know, gateway to, you know, the gateway to adventure, which is kind of the next part. With the website, it's pretty you know, much like you'd expect some of the smaller community websites. But if we had some video, you know, showing people enjoying what we have here, then that gateway to the Superior, gateway to, you know, outdoor wilderness excitement, activity, you know. Kind of like when Pontiac came out and said, we build excitement. And it caught on, people started buying Pontiac cars. Not that they're in business anymore, but we want to stay in business here, so that's where some of these ideas come in. Going along with that, working with the website, Mary Farrell, I'm sure some people here would remember the Farrells, does documentary videos. She's done a lot of them in the Winona area. And she would really like to do one at White Lakes, kind of the founding building of White Lakes. But when I was talking with her about, you know, can you do video clips, you know, 15, 20 seconds of something that makes White Lakes really special? She goes, yeah, that wouldn't be hard at all. That'd probably be kind of a nice thing to fit in on the website. It shouldn't be too hard to do. So those were a couple of things. I did find when I went on Airbnb, White Lakes has 0 hits. Do we have an ordinance that prevents people from doing Airbnb?
We have an ordinance that allows them,
That allows it.
people don't register them.
Ah,
So there are, I've heard of a couple of people have told me, I'm staying at a VRBO up on Andover. You are? So apparently we have, or had at one time, a couple, but we do have an ordinance for, short-term and long-term rental units, and we just haven't had anyone actually register them if they're still out there, so,
okay.
yeah, we allow them.
Part of that goes back to if we spot something that doesn't really set us off, you know, you do a search for White Lakes and you do a search for, you know, rooms near White Lakes and nothing comes up. How do we get that information out? We've got really nice motel. But that didn't come up. It wasn't an easy place to find. So one of those, probably the most interesting thing I saw is our most popular airport is Grand Rapids. So that doesn't seem quite spot on and
It doesn't.
maybe should be looked at. So thank you very much for listening, and I will say thank you for giving me a couple extra minutes.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, anybody else like to stand up and say anything? I guess in citizens forum section of the meeting. Hearing nothing, we'll move on to reports from city staff.
Yes, I wanted to make a comment that I stayed on after my last day to help the city during the transition, and it's apparent to me that the mayor does not value my time and the city is suffering under the lack of leadership. As such, I'm no longer interested in explaining myself to someone who doesn't listen, so this will be my last day with the city.
Public Works Director Smith here.
A few things, since the last meeting, we had water main break number 4, a little over a week ago. Second one on Guilford for the year. Down at Public Works, we're dug the street sweeper out today, we're working on getting that, you know, all maintenance done on that, you'll probably see it out in about, before we know it. Speaking for Wade, with the arena, the ice came off at the arena today. The last games were played yesterday afternoon. He stripped the ice both last night and this morning. Public Works went over there and shaved all the remaining off. And right now it's currently bare dry concrete. They are supposed to take the boards out, I believe, on Wednesday. The remaining bleachers will be pulled. And the saw cutting the floor and everything will commence. As far as new construction at the arena, they are going to try and get the concrete floor poured in a new building that's been constructed out back. they want to get it done on Thursday because they believe road restrictions are gonna go on Friday.
All right, thank you. Public Utilities Director Barron.
Regarding the plants, the water plant, as you guys know, we removed the old chemical tanks. The new ones have arrived, they are installed. While I was gone, the guys plumbed in the intake for that. Tomorrow I'll look it over and make sure we got the feed line to the day tank, but we should be receiving tanker trucks as opposed to totes now. It starts getting some cheaper chemical costs to carry us till hopefully we move on to the Aurora water plant. As far as why I'm dressed up today, I was able to join the East Range Water Board down to the state capitol today. We met with Representatives Strada, Warwas, and Senators Farnsworth and Senator Hochschild down there to talk about funding. One of the key things we're looking for is the WIF grant is currently capped at $5 million. There's talks about being that to $10 million. If that gets passed, that not only benefits Aurora and the East Range Water Board, that would also benefit us as well. So, yeah, interesting experience, first time going through something like that.
It's gotten pretty positive then from what you gathered from the people you spoke with.
Yeah, they sounded very positive. They're very happy to see that we're combining, we're not individual facilities going for a little project. We're actually regionalizing and trying to make the most of the funding we're getting. So that goes a long ways, especially these days with increased prices.
All right, well, yeah, thank you for going down there to advocate for the city and then Strange Water Board project. Finally, City Attorney Rookie.
I don't have much of an update, Mayor. I have a question, I guess, follow up to the interim administrator's announcement. Are you operating under a contract, an independent contract, or just virtual?
Part-time.
Okay. That's it.
All right, thank you. Moving on to reports from elected officials, Council Brandon.
I'm on the Youth in Action Committee now for this year. That meeting was canceled last week. They'll have a meeting scheduled in May, so that'll be the first meeting I attend for that. So I'll see what that's all about and what they do for our community. The Chamber of Commerce finished our year end with, we report to the city every year how much we gave in donations, and this, for 2024, we gave almost $125,000 out to the city, fellowship, school, different youth groups, things like the garden club and youth hockey. So that report will be coming out in the shopper probably this weekend. I'll get it in tomorrow, and then we usually put a couple notices at City Hall or at the site where we have the Haven where we have the tabs. So that's a, yeah, nice chunk of money that went back to the community. So thank you to all the gamblers. No, the Veterans Clubs, Legions, they do their own, they're in-house. So we used to have the bowling alley and that closed down, and we've never, there's not another site really to operate under in town, so.
It's pretty good. One location.
Yeah, one location.
Is that about the same every year, or are you up? Or-
No, it's up, I think last year, I don't even remember, I can do a little report over the last 5 years next time. I think it was around maybe 110, it was over 100,000 last year as well. A lot of that comes from the electronic pull tabs that started a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago. So a lot of money comes from the electronic.
Is that back in again, cause I thought I saw on TV where they've taken it away and now they're.
No, they just had to change it. They looked a lot like slot machines, and the tribal community, the Minnesota statute was actually being violated, so the tribal community noticed that and brought that up, and so that legislation was changed for 2025. So the games just don't look like a slot machine anymore. They open more like a pull tab. They have 3 lines. You have to hit the button 3 times to open each one of the tabs, and there's no bonuses really anymore. But people still play them, and we're still doing really good, so we'll see what 2025 brings.
Thank you, Councilor Jarvis.
I have nothing to do.
Nothing tonight, Councilor McMahon.
Officer Counselor Jarvis and I just went to the public safety board meeting and they were just updating some of their policies, that's about it.
Counselor Matheson.
Nothing from you.
I met with the other range mayors last week, so got to get to know Laura's mayor, Buglock's mayor, Edwards mayor a little bit, some other mayors for there. Getting to know some other folks around the area, so that's it from me. Moving on to old business, 10.1. Can I explain that a little bit?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, the council last considered the draft plan ordinance at the last council meeting. They were directed to submit any changes, thoughts, corrections to me. Councilor Jarvis submitted some questions. I provided the responses in the meeting packet. Today, you'd be looking to finalize what language you would like in the ordinance, so it can be posted for no less than 10 days prior to the next meeting, and then approved as an ordinance and published, make it legal.
Yeah, just because we have to, I guess, prove something, we can go through it, making sort of changes that we see fit. So. I guess with the first section,
I can add one thing.
Yeah.
What, to what Becky said. I contacted the DNR also. If we don't have this done, people in the city will be ineligible for flood insurance.
right,
So it's a requirement.
yeah, so yeah, we need to, make sure we have it done, or adopted before the 23rd, so. Is there anything before we go through it, is there any changes that people are looking at making? So with the blue sections, those are pieces that you can decide to, keep or take out. There's sections in here that are highlighted in red, where you can make changes. I wasn't able to see any other cities that have adopted something like this, but we're able to kind of read through the counties. So I guess with the, you can just start at the beginning and go through it. So with that first section, obviously changing it to the White Lakes floodplain ordinance as opposed to the Minnesota model floodplain ordinance. Taking out those bottom 3 paragraphs where it kind of explains things, and then just keeping that first one where it starts at the model ordinance piece of it. Well, actually, I was thinking about the rest of it to make changes. And then changing that to our ordinance, then developed consistent with, these rules. Second page, just keeping everything there, nothing, is asking to be changed. Third page. So this is where it kind of starts to explain, the blue sections, can be accepted if we see fit. So making it not bolded, changing it to the black lettering.
So you would like to accept all the sections?
I guess I was just gonna go through it and see if we keep certain sections and then take out certain sections.
I'm just taking one section.
So this critical facilities piece, do folks think we should take that or keep it? I was thinking keeping that section.
Yeah, at first, when I was reading it, I thought, we don't have, like, I was thinking of hospitals or clinics, but it does also talk about the emergency response buildings. So I would just leave that in.
The second part, 2.124, flood fringe section. Talks about this district shall be extended laterally to the 0.2% annual chance floodplain where mapped. I was thinking we should keep that or take that out.
I guess I don't know if that would apply to us or not. I mean, it's an optional statement, but yeah, I don't know if the 1% is adequate, or if we should leave it, some of this is kind of, you know, unknown if we should strike it or
Sure. So I look at the counties, they took out the blue section of that piece, so keeping everything the same, but taking out, where it says this district shall be extended laterally. So it's 2%, taking that piece out. And then the general floodplain part, the 2.130 general floodplain, these floodplains is designated on flood insurance rate maps referenced in section 3.2. But that do not have a delineated floodway. I was thinking keeping that section. And then taking out the section after that, the light duty truck section. Do I remove that? The next page, it asks us how to define. For two separate definitions, our folks thinking we should do the top one or the bottom one. So regulatory flood protection elevation. It goes on to say an elevation that is 1 foot above, then continues, or the same thing, but an elevation that is 2 feet above the elevation. of the base flood.
I see, so the DNR is recommending the use a 2 foot. A 2 foot. Measurement, so I would say go with 2 foot instead.
So in the bottom one, repetitive loss. Flood related damages sustained by a structure or 2 separate occasions during a 10-year period for which the cost of repairs at the time of each flood event, the average equals or exceeds 25% of the market value of the structure before the damage occurred. Should we keep that or take that out? I was thinking keeping that section in.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next section, so section 3. The only part it asks us to change is, saying whether a planning commission or court of adjustment should be a part of that. I was thinking just doing the planning and zoning commission, since that's kind of the most relevant. 3.2, so where the master these files, I was just thinking city hall for that. Where else they would be filed? And under section 3.3, it says this district shall be extended laterally to the 0.2% annual chance floodplain where mapped.
We did approve that on the 2.124, so I think we would need to leave that on for that one too, that.
Then moving on to section 4, so 4.12, it just says farm fences as defined in section 3.0 of this ordinance are not considered to be an obstruction, and as such do not require a permit. I don't know if we have anything for farm fences in the city, but I don't know, just keeping it just in case. Um, 4.23, critical facilities shall be located so that the lowest floor is not less than 2 feet above the base flood elevation or the 0.2% annual chance flood elevation, whichever is higher.
Is that, like we already have our EMS building, does that meet that requirement? Already, or would we be in violation if we approve that statement?
I guess, yeah, if we don't know for sure, I would say just take it out since it is optional, so we don't write ourselves into a corner there. So take that piece out. Section 5. levees or dikes intended to protect agricultural crops provided the top of the dike does not exceed 10% annual chance of flood event. I was just thinking about taking those parts out of 5.15 and 5.16. Just taking all of that out.
I would agree, we don't have agricultural crops anywhere in town.
Then starting at 5.25, any facility used by employees or the general public must be designated with a flood warning system. I would say take that out. And 5.26. I think the erosion. I'd say take that part of 2. 5.3. I would say take both doors off at 5.3. 5.4. We take both doors off. 6.2, construction of this area shall only be permitted at locations where the natural ground is no forward, and I would say take that out too. That's kind of right next off into the final, so. Next section, 6.22. So the fourth part, such areas shall be subject to a deed restricted non-conversion agreement as well as periodic inspections. I would say take that part out. Six point two four, only principal structures must provide if the access more than 1 foot. I would say take that piece out. Section 7. Choosing to adopt a higher standard than the fees, so then those red highlighted sections, take those out since we did that. It shows the more restrictive one. Page, to the few different paragraphs for that. There's a floodway has not been determined in along lakes, wetlands, on basins. The following methodology may be used as an alternative to item B above or item A above. Provided these areas are not affected by velocities and will be able to accommodate the building site above the regulatory flood protection language. I guess I would say take all of that out. Nothing on the next page. 11.2. There's a spot on the bottom.
Sounds like they would want to leave that in, if it just says you must consider all relevant factors, danger to life and property, safety to the property. I mean, I would think we just leave those in.
So that's a keep that section for 11.23. And then same with the next section for 11.24, I would say keep all of that. Other considerations or conditions is being appropriated by the zoning administrator and the planning commission or planning and zoning commission for that also, or the city council, or.
I would say planning and zoning.
Yeah. Planning and zoning for that. Section 12, any structures located outside the 1% annual chance floodplain are exempt from this provision. Let's see, keep that. And then any non-conforming structure has utilities, electrical, or mechanical equipment damage due to flooding must be rebuilt in conformance. Let's see, take that out. Final section, so 12.23, so for the purpose of determining whether the proposed work would constitute substantial improvement, the elevation shall also include any new relocations, additions, or other improvements completed since the community has adopted floodplain standards and structure. In non-conforming structure, experiences with better loss, we define section 2.0 shall be considered substantially damaged and must be reconstructed except in conformity with the provisions of this. That's what keep those. Any other changes that folks think we should be making to that? If we can make those changes. And then it sounds like for the DNR, we need to have a public hearing, before adopting this. So I was thinking of scheduling a public hearing for March 24th. Which would be the day before this is due. And then we can have a public hearing, so that needs to be in the paper for 10 days, correct? Legal contract. So that gives us enough time to have it in the paper for 10 days, and then do it on the 24th. So office staff could, tomorrow reach out to the newspaper, to have, like the notice of the public hearing sent out. And that would be appreciated.
What time is the public hearing?
So our council meeting would be 5:30,
Public forum.
public forum is 5. Is there any sort of time limit, legal counsel, on how long it has to be for the hearing?
No, because no one's here.
Hearing,
Yeah,
right, okay.
you could do it at 5:15, in between the forum, and you can also maybe do it at 5:30. Yeah, do it first thing after the budget.
That's
A lot of options.
So we can include it in our meeting.
So schedule the public hearing for during our, council meeting, do it that way,
Well, there's a beginning.
so 5:30 then. Put you there, and then, at the public hearing, we can adopt that. Ordinance after that, so that could be put on the agenda for, after the hearing section part of that, adopting the ordinance. So yeah, as long as the office staff can, put that in the paper this week for the notice of the public hearing. I think we should be. Anything else? I think that was the main piece that you and I mentioned, is that we just need to adopt it before the 25th. And after that, it's. With, accepting the draft, the changes we made, or.
You can, yeah, do a motion accepting the changes we discussed and figure out who's going to make those changes.
Right. So is anybody like to make a motion to, make those changes as we discussed tonight, that ordinance?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion from Councilor Ekman. Is there anybody that would like to second or support that?
I'll second that.
We have a second from Councilor Grams. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on. To new business, 11.1 pay request. Number 6 from Max Ray Construction, the amount of $101,286.80 for utilities. Recreation center. Is there anything that we need to know for on our end, extra information, either from Becky or Kenny, if the special thing to discuss regarding this?
Not that I'm aware.
All right, I'll take a motion to, pay that pay request for construction.
We'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Councilor Grams. Is there anybody that would like to second or support that?
I'll second.
We have a second from Councilor Matson. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. 11.2, Clayton's Water Triangle Committee requests of the fire department and EMS department. Is there anything that you want to add back, Sherry?
No, I did talk with, EMS Director Olmsted about the possible change where it says, the fire truck at Colby Beach parking lot Saturday night for the fireworks. Because of all the road construction and the arena parking lot, possible construction still. We were talking about moving the camping over to the field by the EMS building where the fireworks normally are, moving the fireworks down to the beach parking lot. A lot of those possible moves are pending, and we're gonna include, Fire Chief Kenny, Melanie, and, Assistant Chief Closestead in all these further meetings and conversations about the best way to, the best parade route and place for camping and fireworks and everything, so we'll keep everyone in the loop, so we're all on the same page and think of any possible conflicts that might come up. Our president, Dan Darbo, will be coming to a council meeting probably in April to go over all this and update everyone on what's happening, and it is our 70th anniversary, so it's gonna be a bigger celebration, so bad timing for the 70th and the construction, but we'll make it all work. Might be a headache for a lot of, public works people, but we'll make it work.
Then at a future council meeting, we can do all the in-kind services and, so this is more just informational sharing.
Yeah, this was just to make sure to get, the permissions needed by the council for them to use, the equipment for this kind of stuff and for them to have it on their radar for their scheduling purposes.
I'd make a motion to give that permission for them.
And, we have a motion from Councilor Traveler to, all the EMS and fire departments to provide these in-kind services to the Lakes Water Triangle Committee. Is there anybody that'd like to second or support that?
I'll second.
We have a second from Councilor Matheson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to 11.3, public forum. There was a request made to reduce the public forum from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, due to a lack of public participation. Is there anybody that would like to, make changes to, the public forums, either by decreasing it, 15 minutes? With when certain subjects are brought on, and we talked about the garbage bag, that was a fairly lengthy meeting. So maybe rather than doing it every month, I was thinking either do it quarterly or every other month. So that gives us enough time to, put together things that we're going to talk about. As opposed to doing it, every month and then, only doing it for 15 minutes. If there is a topic that they really want to talk about, it might be nice to have a 30-minute meeting, but just doing it, having those meetings less, so that just.
Question would be then, does it really hurt anything? If for some reason something came up and we had a 15-minute meeting, and I went an extra 15 minutes to try to consider council meeting.
when we violate our meeting postings, if you post the meeting.
Would it really?
That's what I'm asking, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, that's my question. You know,
I don't mind having a monthly, I would be in favor of starting them at 5:15 unless we do have, a heavy agenda. Let's say people do call in and request certain topics, or we have a topic we really want to discuss in length with people. I mean, if there's agenda items, we could post it, starting at 5, but if there's no agenda items that people want to discuss, we can still have it open at 5:15, just in case someone does come.
it just doesn't make sense for us to sit here for a full half hour.
Right, that's why, I don't mind the 15 minutes early, just in case someone comes in and wants to talk about something, but
Snowbirds will be coming back soon and they'll be the ones coming down.
And this is kind of a new thing, I mean, we
Yeah.
only had two,
yeah.
so.
I didn't realize you were doing it monthly. I mean, there was, how do you find that out? I mean.
It's
once
just
again, that goes
posted
back-
on when we post the meeting, it's just
But
posted,
see,
then it
once again,
starts.
that goes back to the marketing, there is no marketing of what's going on in this. So,
But there is the bulletin board right on the hallway here that does.
On the website has it.
But I'm the one that originally requested the forum,
yes,
and then with the couple where we had one meeting where we had a lot of people there, and then the other ones were like, okay. Nobody's here, why spend a half an hour sitting here, when we can cut it 15 minutes and.
and I do think, once the snowbirds come back, you will have more people, so you might want to look at changing it after that again. Cause a lot of your elderly people aren't here right now, but they'll be coming back next month. And those are the ones that have a lot of questions, if they know what's going on.
Hey, Joe? Does that create a problem, with what Sherry said with the scheduled meeting time? If we start the forum at 5:15, city council is supposed to start at 5:30, if the forum goes. An extra 15 minutes or 10 minutes, messing that council meeting start time, does that create a problem?
Potentially, yeah. So. Are you saying the concern is that the public forum might go too long and delay the start time?
Yeah, if we start the public forum at 5:15 and we get a night where we get 25 people coming in there. And it goes from 5:15 to 5:45, whereas the council meeting is supposed to start at 5:30.
My advice to them, stop the forum. And delay it and have that some other time and start the meeting at the posting time. Both for the public and for the staff and everyone that is here for the posting meeting.
Could we
when it's-
continue it till after the meeting?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is the forum called to order where you'd be hitting the gavel and a roll call?
That's generally how we started them, like, when they were at 5, we would start it at 5 and.
So if nobody was here, like 15 minutes is a reasonable time for somebody that may be running late. But if nobody's here, 5:15, the gavel and adjourn the forum.
No, we just leave it open until 5:30, and then we call that one meeting closed and start the next one. I mean, we're here, we're sitting here in case someone comes up, but we don't close the meeting at 5:15.
And is there a reason we don't put those out like you do the meeting?
They are.
they are.
They are.
Yep, they're just, the forum starts at 5, regular meeting 5:30, so those are always posted.
Okay,
Yes.
I just want to ask me why they couldn't watch that portion, and I said, I don't know.
Oh, you're saying put it out on the video?
On the
Oh,
video.
I thought you meant, posted that we were
Yeah,
having,
no,
sorry.
why isn't it on the video like the meetings? Because that would build interest in getting people here, if they saw that they could come down and talk. And that the council was here to listen.
Yeah, I guess a special kind of meetings or public forum, they've never been recorded, but I mean, something to consider moving forward just for, I guess, transparency's sake and getting people more interested in. Things like that, for
I
sure.
just would think it would gather more, you'd get more people interested in.
Right,
They saw that they could do that,
for sure.
cause I just don't think it's well known. That you're having this.
So yeah, better better advertisement that we're doing things like that every month, so that.
And I know you say that it's on the bulletin board over here, there's two things, you've got your bulletin board out here, and you've got the internet. And you've got old people, what are the two things they can't do? They can't drive and they can't operate a computer. So the people that wanna make complaints don't know what's going on.
Sure.
Do we put anything in the shopper or? For them?
It's been fairly expensive, I know we haven't been putting it in there because of the cost.
I mean, I know that's how I got everyone to the debate. So I ran an ad in the shopper and then I posted on Facebook. And most of the elderly people responded to the ad in the shopper. First thing, don't repeat this, I don't read the shopper.
A lot of people don't get it. Because it's out of the job.
So, but for some reason, old people. My husband included.
Attorney Luick might be able to answer this, but I think in the state of Minnesota, as far as governmental entities as well as nonprofits, Minnesota is more concerned about closing meetings than opening meetings. And so you have an open meeting already. There's no concern there. It's just participation by the public. And that you're having that right now. That's what's happening currently. So there's no real breach of decorum or breach of Robert's Rules of Order or anything like that. I wouldn't think if, like you were saying, that open forum leads into the actual council meeting, you just have to get on the council meeting to order at 5:30 for state satisfaction.
Sure.
But we also don't have public back and forth comment generally in a meeting. That's why we started the public forum, because at this meeting, when the guest presentation come up, it's not a back and forth question and answer. It's just a, here's my feelings and thank you for sharing, we'll look into it. So that's what the public forum is for, so that these meetings don't have 10 people with back and forth like this. So in order to keep our regular meeting, streamlined, I don't want to cross over that line of public forum and regular meeting. Just for the sake of all our other attendees and our employees that come. If we need to do our business during this meeting, and I keep the public forum separate, where we can converse with the public.
I guess my personal opinion is based off of this question and what 11.3 is about today. Is that we wanted the public forums so that people could talk. We've given it only a couple public forums and now we're like, all right, sitting here for a half hour, one day a month is getting to us. I don't really think I mean, we wanted to give the citizens the ability to come in and talk. I don't think 2 or 3 public forums of not having 10 people in here is enough for me to say that's it, we're cutting down to 15 minutes. I understand that we all have other things to do. But we're giving people 30 minutes to come in and talk one day a month, excuse me. I don't see a purpose in cutting it back at this point to me, but.
Mayor, if I may.
Yeah.
If the concern is the time no one shows up, you can make it a part of your agenda for the regular. You can put that on your agenda as one of the early things and have it form part of the meeting, and if no one's here as part of that, then
Move on.
move on. Then you don't have to worry about the scheduling of it running long and not being, but you have to start the meeting on time. So your actual meeting at 5:30, that's made proposal, that's when you have to start. So you have to cut that off and start early, but you make it part of your regular agenda once a month, then, and the public knows about it, then they can come and participate, and you as the mayor running that portion can give them reasonable time, some set of time for each person to share and conduct it that way. So I can provide additional advice or direction to the council if you like on how you can do that, but that would be my recommendation based on what I'm hearing is, because you're thinking about this. And conduct that point of hearing.
I think one of the key reasons it was made beforehand is because we're paying people overtime for these meetings, and so if they don't have to be part of the public forum, then we're not paying overtime and that kind of thing.
if the citizens are wanting that public forum, then that's the cost of doing business.
Yep.
So,
A half hour.
yeah,
Once a month.
yeah,
So yeah, maybe just keeping things as is, but then, just allowing you to provide us with some sort of guidance or post this meeting. I think would be, yeah,
So for March 24th, we're just leaving it at 5 for now,
yeah, we might as well, and
and
just kind of wait
then
on,
forward after that.
yeah, the legal counsel last time. His ideas are for incorporating them to regular council meetings, so I think that would be good for the scheduling piece of it, and then. Yeah, we'll wait on that.
Do we have to have a motion for that, thing, because it's an agenda item?
No. We're just, yeah, keeping things as is, making sort of motions. Seconds. Moving on to 11.4, federal appropriation discussion. Federal legislators have sent information regarding, federal appropriations. The city has no projects in a shovel-ready position for federal appropriation. The East Range Joint Water Board may apply for White Lakes participation in the project. So this is just a way of funding the project, and we don't have anything that's shovel-ready, and there's nothing that we can really do at this point.
Is that something the city can contact Stauber's office and find out if we can get additional funding for the water project? You know, Becky?
The Joint Waters Board does the legislating.
Yeah, I understand, it's like what
Yeah.
Jake went down.
Yeah,
But would this be additional funding above and beyond that?
no, so the Joint Waters Board would do all that work.
Okay.
Yep, for White Lakes participation.
So I guess if you've been on that board, you can always just, whoever, just to see if it's on their radar. Okay, moving on to 11.5, strange joint water board education regarding FCO members. We already appointed those members last meeting, I believe. I don't think we have to do anything.
Yeah, I think this is very different because the resolution was made for taking that from the door. And now there's a request. In the resolution.
All just formalities.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, question for you, Becky, on this, with you leaving. The meetings that are being done for White Lakes joining were the discussion for the number of members and everything. Those have been separate from the water board meetings. Can we find out when those are scheduled? I'd like to either Jake or I. or both
They're
of
at
us.
3, Jake goes to them.
Okay, can you let me know then?
Yeah, we got our next one on Wednesday, I believe that one starts the event on my schedule.
I think they're at 3 on the same day as.
Okay,
Yeah, it's,
so it's held before the actual water board meeting then?
yeah, 3 o'clock it starts and usually ends, butts up right at the start of the official meeting.
Okay.
It's everything for 11.5, so I will take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Councilor Graham, second from Councilor Darvilla, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, hearing none, motion carries.